Hello, all of my classes. In this video, I wanted to go over some of the expectations for the time that we are not on campus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I want to show you some software or a website that you're going to need to use that we haven't used before. So hopefully this will help you understand how to use that website and understand what I need from you during this time. First off, I want you to do, this is important, all of the work, the math work, and the problems by hand, so handwritten. You can do it on a work, if I give a work packet or a worksheet, I wrote worksheet here, but most of the time I have work packets. If you're able to print a work packet at home and you want to print a work packet at home, that's more than that. That's great. But if you're unable to print a work packet that I send you, so you get the PDF on your computer and you can't print it, just do it on notebook paper. You can do the entire work packet on a sheet of notebook paper, and that that can be submitted fine as well. Like, if it doesn't have to be on the work packet, it can be on notebook paper like bookwork is, and bookwork will be probably on notebook paper for you. But you can use any type of paper. If you want to use clean sheet paper and do it all on that, it's fine too. It needs to be handwritten on paper, and I need to have a picture of your handwritten work on paper, and multiple pictures if it's multiple pages, or if you can fit all the pages on one picture, that works too. But I want a picture submitted of your handwritten work. Okay, and there'll be a place on Google Classroom assignment for submitting the picture of your handwritten work, whether it's on notebook paper or if it's a work packet, you can print it out. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Pictures can be taken hopefully with your phone and maybe emailed to you and then submitted on Google Classroom. I assume your Chromebooks can also take pictures, and then it would just be on your Chromebook and you submit it into Google Classroom. All right, that's step one, or step 1 and 2. Step 3 and 4 is then I want you to type up all that work that you just submitted a picture of, or that you wrote on this website, freemathapp.org. I'm going to show you that website in a minute. So, and then I need that file also submitted to Google Classroom. That file, this will be a digital copy of your handwritten work. You'll have your work handwritten and you'll have your work digitally typed up. I am not able to grade pictures of handwritten work. I am able to grade digital copies of your handwritten work. I'm not able to verify you did the work on a digital copy. I am able to verify you did the work yourself by looking at your handwriting on the picture. Okay, there's two things going on here that I cannot merge like before. Okay, because I don't have a physical copy of your work, unfortunately. So I need to see the handwritten work to make sure you wrote it down and you didn't just copy and paste on your computer. And I need to see the digital copy so that I can actually grade it. All right. Due dates, just one thing here is, for instance, the first assignment will probably be due April 3rd for most of you, maybe not everybody, but most of my classes. I'm going to just say that all due dates are midnight of the day, the Friday that I say. So I'm not going to put date times of when things are due. It'll just be midnight that day, okay, the end of that day. And please note that during this time, I'm going to grade all book work for correctness. Normally I was grading book work for completion, but I will be grading it for correctness during this time period. Okay. I'm sure there's questions that you have, and I'll have times for you guys to get on and ask questions about things. And there's probably things I haven't thought through quite yet too. I don't have anything about tests and quizzes in here yet. I have some time to think about that. I'm still not entirely sure how that's going to work. At this point, we're recording this on the 26th of March, 2020 AD. Let me show you this free math app. Okay, that's the important part of this. That's the real reason I want to record a video here is the free math app. So, free math app. Go to freemathapp.org. If you go to that, you will get this page. Let me just make sure that I have the same thing as what you'll have when you go to it. Okay. Free math app. There is two things here. There is a teacher section and there's a student section. You're going to need to look at the student section. Okay. So, pretend that this is a, let me see here, what's a good assignment. So here I have some geometry homework that was from before, that not the current homework that they're going to be doing. And pretend that this is handwritten and on my desk, not digital. What I need to do is type this homework up. I'm typing this homework up to submit it in Google Classroom digitally through the freemathapp.org website. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to put this side to side so that I can show you how this looks. Now you'll be copying this from probably your desk or something, or that'll be laid out in front of you. That's what I mean. But I'm going to put it up here on the screen. Okay, so on this website, freemathapp.org, you're going to want to go click on Create. Under Students, click on Create. And so what comes up is all these, this thing right here will come up. I'm up here under File Name. You're going to want to put the page and numbers. If it's a work packet, you can put work packet, whatever, to 4.2 work packet, or whatever it is. I'm just making numbers up here. So I'm doing the whole, I'm not going to type the whole thing up, but I'm going to put all the problems in the title, the file name. Over here it says problem number. So whatever problem number you're doing, you want to put that in here. And then this area here is where you actually type up the work for the math problem. And this is nice because it allows you to do math symbols that a lot of word processing programs do not allow you to do. There are a few things that are missing. Most notably, and maybe I'm missing it because I'm still learning this as well, I do not see a not equal to, an equal to with a slash through. This is the most notable missing thing. Statistics, we're going to have some issues also. Statistics class, I'll get into that a little later, or with you specifically when it comes to a little bit later. But let me just start with the stuff that does work. So I have a Pythagorean theorem problem, number 3, x. Okay, I'm going to do x raised to the second power. So I can use the caret button, which is 6, right? Okay, to go to the second power, and 2, and see how I can do an exponent there, just like we write it. Well, word processors, it's a little bit more complicated to do that. You can't just do the power so easily, so quickly. So I use the caret button on the keyboard to do that, but there is a button down here that allows you to, or I click on it, A to the B, and then you can just replace. So if I wanted to use that instead, if I didn't want to do that, I could type that in and then replace the A and the B. So what I'm doing is I'm deleting the A that was there and putting 120 in, and then I'm deleting the B that was there and put 2 in. Okay. Now the neat thing, or the thing that's nice about this, is if I am done with this first line of work, so I'm just copying my handwritten work over, hit enter, okay, and it'll actually rewrite the line that was there. And so what I can do is I can go through this and change whatever I need to be changed. So I'm changing 50 squared to 2500. I'm going to hold shift and scroll over, and I'm just going to highlight all of that. Delete. It's gone. Replacing that with 2500. Okay? So I can go through, and rather than retyping the entire line, I can just replace or change the things that changed about it. Okay, hit enter. I don't have to retype the x squared each time. Now I'm going to add these two together. Okay, holding shift and paging back and forth allows you to highlight characters and gives you a lot of power. So the next line is square root. Okay, so square root. If you come down here, you can see that there's a square root. But just rather than coming down here and pushing buttons, it's often faster if you can just type and not have to move your hand to the mouse. So there is a shortcuts for a lot of these, and the way you do these shortcuts is the backslash button. So I'm going to do backslash and do SQRT for square root, and it's going to put a square root in. Okay, and then I want to put the x squared inside the square root. Right now it's not inside, so I'm going to highlight the x squared. I'm going to do Control X, which cuts, and then move into this and do Control V, which then pastes the x squared. Or you can retype it and then delete the one on the outside. And I just moved that in. So slash square root, and then I'm putting the number in, and then I'm going to delete the one that's on the outside. Taking the square root of both sides. And then for this line, this is going to x, and then the square root of 16,900 is 130. And I'm done. So that allowed me to go through, and hitting enter just brings the work down here. That's actually very helpful. But the important part is all the symbols and the math way of writing things that you don't have those in word processors. So I'm going to do a new blank step, that which is just a blank step without repeating what's above it. And I'm just going to go down through and look at a lot of this stuff. Fractions, one of the nicest things about this is how fractions work. If you're on a word processor, you can't really do fractions. But if I want 1/2, I do 1/2, and they're 1/2. Okay. So the slash that is with the question mark is the one that does the fractions. The slash that lets you do shortcodes is the one above the return key on a normal keyboard. I don't know if the Chromebook's keyboard is normal. So those are the two slashes. You have the, I don't know which one's forward and which one's backwards, actually. So fractions are nice because, especially in pre-calc right now, we have some pretty complicated fractions where, well, we don't have fractions as easy as 1/2 that we're dealing with, but you can see how you can do fractions within fractions with that. Okay, so we have fractions. You have pi, which you can click on here. Oh, by the way, fraction button is right here if you want to click on it, but that slash key will create that. The pi button here, but you can do slash pi and get the pi without reaching to the mouse. Algebra 2, we're doing logarithms. Notice how it'll recognize that logarithms are a thing by taking it from italics to non-italics. So there's a log button here. If you need a base, here's a log base here. Okay. If you don't want to click on the buttons, you can bring a log base up by doing log underscore. So that is shift, then the button next to 0. And if we have base 7 of 49 is equal to 2. Okay, that's how that would work. So underscore, that works for logarithms as far as base, but statistics, if we're doing permutations and combinations, so if I want to do a permutation, I would do caret and 5, and then, oh, by the way, I want to press the right button to escape from the exponent once you have the exponent. Okay, so I'm in the exponent right now. I want to press right, going right and left right now. I want to get my cursor out of that, and then I can do underscore. So permutation, and we're taking 2. We have a group of 5, and we're taking 2. Okay, so there's a superscript and a subscript right there. Caret underscore. Okay, trigonometry or pre-calc. All the trig functions are in here. Sine, x, recognizes all of them. Cosecant. Okay. We use theta. So x is easy. That's on your keyboard. If you want theta, so we have tangent of theta. There is a theta. It is in Greek, I think. I'm getting lower on the screen here. There's theta. You can also type /theta if you don't want to reach down there and change the tab and whatnot. Anything else? Let me think here. In this Greek symbols. There's a bunch of geometry stuff. I'm going through the geometry, and there's congruency and similar. We'll probably get to some of that. Oh, and you can actually hover over these to see the shortcuts right there. Hopefully you can see that. It comes up, the shortcuts come up. Oh, statistics. Yes. Statistics. That's another thing with statistics. We are dealing with unions and intersections right now. /union will give us the U. Okay. /intersect will give us the intersect symbol. Yeah. But the important part of this is that you can do some of these math symbols that word processors just don't allow. That, in addition to the ability for it to just duplicate what you already have written, it just makes it a lot easier. I'm actually going to change the name of this. Well, actually, I can just put on the top test or example, maybe demo. Change to demo. Okay, so when you have done some problems, this is the important part. You want to click save up here. So, so I have a new problem. Sorry. Let me do the new problem first. So that was all problem 3. Actually, none of this actually is part of it. I was just showing you how it works. I'm done with problem 3. I'm going to add a problem, and then I'm going to make this 4, and then I can just do the whole process again, looking at my bookwork, and I'm going to go through this and change these two things to what they are, and I'm going to add them together so I can replace them, and I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Delete this one. Square root 4225, delete that. So this goes to x, this whole thing goes to x, and the square root of 4225 is 65. So now I have the second problem. Make sure you number the problem correctly. That's important. But up here, when you're ready to finish it, you can click save, and it'll download a file. Okay, so it'll download a file. I have some other stuff in here, but ignore that. And this right here, this .math file, is what you'll need to then upload. Okay, I need to upload this .math file, and see it has the name that you named it up here. My recommendation is that if you don't have to do the entire homework, type it all up at once. So let's say I'm in the middle, I have several more problems to go, but somebody needs my computer, I need to go, or so I have an appointment or something, I can't finish it. Okay, well, I can leave this page. There's two things that happens here. It'll actually save the file in, it's cached, or I think it's cached in the web browser. You can't jump on another computer. You didn't sign in. You don't need to sign in or make an account or anything for this. There is a file that's saved from the web browser. This is not guaranteed to be here, okay, but it seemed to be pretty reliable with me. But if you save the file on your system, you can always open that file Okay, and I actually have one here. I'll just open this one because I'm in it. I'm not in my downloads folder. And you can see um, that I have opened an old one, and I can actually go through here and edit any of these problems, and I have a bunch of problems in here already. Okay, so you can open it, but what you could do is pick up where you left off in this in here. You can pick up from where you left off if you didn't finish it the last time. Does that make sense? Hopefully, and you don't have to do it all at once. You can, and then you can, if you got more of it done but still didn't finish it, save it again. Maybe say something like in progress or something like put a date or a time with it. And then when you're finally done with it, then you can upload it. Okay. So, um, so there's definitely a save and load up option here for you. So let me open this one again. And I think that about covers it. I'm sure there might be some questions that people have. So if you have questions, please feel free to send them my way. And I think that's all I have for this video with how to use this freemathapp.org website and what some of my expectations are for these coming weeks that we are remote learning. Thank you and good day.